Question 201. What is the reason behind the Canada-US border? A. To improve security. B. To maintain distance. C. Canada wishes to remain independent of the United States. D. To prevent war between the two countries. The answer is C. Canada wishes to remain independent of the United States. Question 202. What is the other name for a trial court? A. The Court of Queen's Bench. B. The Federal Court. C. The Provincial Court. D. The Small Claims Courts. The answer is A. The Court of Queen's Bench. Question 203. What is the minimum age for voting in federal, provincial, territorial, and municipal elections? A. 18. B. 19. C. 21. D. 16. The answer is A. 18. Question 204. What is the tenure of the Governor-General? A. 4 years. B. 6 years. C. 5 years. D. 7 years. The answer is C. 5 years. Question 205. Post-war, Canada became a more flexible and open society. Which of the following was this based on? A. Equality of men and women. B. Inequality of women. C. Inequality of men and women. D. Equality of men. The answer is A. Equality of men and women.
Question 206. Which 3 rights are included in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms? A. Freedom of expression rights, property rights and fair trial rights. B. Mobility rights, Aboriginal people's rights, and official language rights. C. Aboriginal people's rights, voting rights and official language rights. D. Employment rights, mobility rights, and freedom rights. The answer is B. Mobility rights, Aboriginal people's rights, and official language rights. Question 207. Which of the following are the 3 founding peoples of Canada? A. American, French, and British. B. Aboriginal, French, and British. C. French, American, and Indian. D. British, American, and Aboriginal. The answer is B. Aboriginal, French, and British. Question 208. To what ocean is Newfoundland closest? A. Atlantic. B. Pacific. C. Labrador Sea. D. Arctic. The answer is A. Atlantic.
Question 209. What UN operation did Canada participate in from 1950 to 1953? A. Canadian forces defended Hong Kong. B. The Canadian Corps captured Vimy Ridge. C. Canada participated in the UN operation defending South Korea in the Korean War. D. Canadians volunteered to fight in the South African War. The answer is C. Canada participated in the UN operation defending South Korea in the Korean War.
Question 210. From whom are the Acadians descended? A. Métis and Inuit. B. First Nations who began settling in what are now the Prairie Provinces in 1600s. C. British colonists who began settling in what are now the Maritime Provinces in 1604. D. French colonists who began settling in what are now the Maritime Provinces in 1604. The answer is D. French colonists who began settling in what are now the Maritime Provinces in 1604.
Question 211. Who has the right to enter and leave Canada at will? A. Prisoners. B. Members of the Commonwealth. C. Canadian citizens. D. Job seekers. The answer is C. Canadian citizens. Question 212. What was the significance of June 6, 1944 invasion of Normandy? A. Canadians made a significant contribution to the defeat of Nazism and fascism in Europe during the Second World War. B. It liberated North Africa from Nazi occupation. C. It results in the forcible relocation of Canadians of Japanese origin. D. It led to the establishment of the Juno Awards. The answer is A. Canadians made a significant contribution to the defeat of Nazism and fascism in Europe during the Second World War. Question 213. What does equality under the law mean? A. To be protected against any discrimination. B. To be discriminated against. C. To be like anyone else in Canada. D. To be the same as anywhere in the world. The answer is A. To be protected against any discrimination. Question 214. What does mobility rights mean? A. Being able to use any mobile phone service in Canada. B. Being able to live and work anywhere in Canada. C. Being able to live and fish anywhere in Canada. D. Being able to play hockey anywhere in Canada. The answer is B. Being able to live and work anywhere in Canada. Question 215. What is the Okanagan Valley famous for? A. Coal mines. B. Lakes and fishing. C. Fruit orchards. D. Sunrise and sunset. The answer is C. Fruit orchards.
Question 216. When did the name of Canada begin appearing on maps? A. By the 1750s. B. By the 1580s. C. By the 1550s. D. By the 1650s. The answer is C. By the 1550s.
Question 217. What is a minority government?
A. The party in power holds less than half of the seats in the House of Commons. B. The party in power holds less than half of the seats in the House of Commons and the Senate. C. The party in power holds at least half of the seats in the House of Commons. D. The party in power holds at least half of the seats in the Senate. The answer is A. The party in power holds less than half of the seats in the House of Commons. Question 218. Where are the Great Lakes? A. Atlantic Canada. B. Manitoba. C. Between Ontario and the United States. D. Northern Quebec. The answer is C. Between Ontario and the United States.
Question 219. What is the difference between the role of the sovereign and that of the Prime Minister? A. The sovereign links Canada to 52 other nations and the Prime Minister is the guardian of constitutional freedoms. B. The sovereign is the symbol of Canadian sovereignty and the Prime Minister is her aide. C. The sovereign is head of state, the Prime Minister oversees provincial policies. D. The sovereign is the guardian of constitutional freedoms, the Prime Minister selects the cabinet ministers and is responsible for operations and policy of government. The answer is D. The sovereign is the guardian of constitutional freedoms, the Prime Minister selects the cabinet ministers and is responsible for operations and policy of government.
Question 220. What is the meaning of the Remembrance Day poppy? A. To remember our sovereign, Queen Elizabeth II. B. To remember the sacrifice of Canadians who have served or died in wars up to the present day. C. To honor prime ministers who have died. D. To celebrate Confederation. The answer is B. To remember the sacrifice of Canadians who have served or died in wars up to the present day. Question 221. You can vote in advance if A. You are elderly. B. You know you will not be able to vote on election day. C. Sick and physically disabled. D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. Question 222. Who signs the bills if it is approved by the provincial parliament? A. The mayor. B. Dalton McGuinty. C. members of the provincial parliament? D. The lieutenant governor. The answer is D. The lieutenant governor. Question 223. What does MPP stand for? A. Member of the provincial parachute. B. Member of the provincial police. C. Member of the provincial parliament. D. Member of the provincial publication. The answer is C. Member of the provincial parliament. Question 224. How are senators chosen? A. By the Premier of all provinces. B. By the Governor-General of Canada. C. Appointed by the Governor-General on the advice of the Prime Minister. D. Appointed by the Queen. The answer is C. Appointed by the Governor-General on the advice of the Prime Minister. Question 225. Who was the first Prime Minister of Canada? A. Sir John Alexander Macdonald. B. Pierre Elliott Trudeau. C. Pierre Elliott Trudeau. D. Sir John Macdonald. The answer is A. Sir John Alexander Macdonald. Question 226. Which animal is an official symbol of Canada? A. The bear. B. The moose. C. The beaver. D. The snowbird. The answer is C. The beaver. Question 227. What do you mark on a federal election ballot? A. A check mark. B. An X. C. A sticker. D. A thumbprint. The answer is B. An X. Question 228. What does the blindfolded Lady Justice symbolize? A. Blind to all considerations other than facts. B. The government must respect all of the legal rights a person is entitled to, under the law. C. Our judicial system is founded on the presumption of innocence in criminal matters. D. None of these. The answer is A. Blind to all considerations other than facts. Question 229. When did thousands of miners first come to Yukon? A. 1870s. B. 1980s. C. 1780s. D. 1890s. The answer is D. 1890s.
Question 230. When is the Sir Wilfrid Laurier Day celebrated?
A. 12th of November. B. 20th of November. C. 22nd of November. D. 2nd of November. The answer is B. 20th of November. Question 231. What is the significance of the Canadian discovery of insulin? A. It saved lives of children with sickness. B. It saved millions of lives of people with diabetes. C. It helped the treatment of heart diseases. D. It was an important medicine to save soldiers' life during World War II. The answer is B. It saved millions of lives of people with diabetes. Question 232. Jurisdiction is shared by federal government and provinces, over which of the following sectors? A. Agriculture and immigration. B. Interprovincial trade and communications. C. Defense and health. D. Natural resources. The answer is A. Agriculture and immigration. Question 233. What do you call the Queen's representative in the territories? A. Commissioner. B. Member of the Legislative Assembly. C. Sir. D. Lieutenant Governor. The answer is A. Commissioner. Question 234. What are the provinces of the Atlantic region? A. Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick and Quebec. B. Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island and Quebec. C. Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. D. New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Ontario and Quebec. The answer is C. Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. Question 235. Why the Battle of Vimy Ridge is important in the Canadian history? A. It was the last battle of the First World War. B. It has come to symbolize Canada's becoming as a nation. C. It was an important victory in the Boer War. D. Out of it was formed the Canadian Corps. The answer is B. It has come to symbolize Canada's becoming as a nation.
Question 236. From where does the name Canada come? A. From the Inuit word Kanata meaning nations. B. From Kanata, the First Nations word for village. C. From the Inuit word meaning home. D. From the First Nations word meaning land. The answer is B. From Kanata, the First Nations word for village. Question 237. What are the three main types of industry in Canada? A. Natural resources, manufacturing and services. B. Mining, services and manufacturing. C. Oil, tourism and manufacturing. D. Fishery, tourism and services. The answer is A. Natural resources, manufacturing and services. Question 238. Which country lies on Canada's southern border? A. Central America. B. Mexico. C. Michigan. D. United States of America. The answer is D. United States of America. Question 239. What are the Prairie Provinces? A. Saskatchewan and Manitoba. B. Alberta, Manitoba and British Columbia. C. Saskatchewan, Alberta and Manitoba. D. Saskatchewan and Alberta. The answer is C. Saskatchewan, Alberta and Manitoba. Question 240. Where do the English and French have equal status in Canada? A. In the workplace. B. In schools. C. In the Parliament of Canada. D. At the City Hall. The answer is C. In the Parliament of Canada. Question 241. What is a majority government? A. The party in power holds at least half of the seats in the House of Commons and the Senate. B. The party in power holds at least half of the seats in the House of Commons. C. The party in power holds less than half of the seats in the House of Commons. D. The party in power holds at least half of the seats in the Senate. The answer is B. The party in power holds at least half of the seats in the House of Commons. Question 242.
Which countries fought in the War of 1812?
A. United Kingdom and United States of America. B. France and United Kingdom. C. Canada and United States of America. D. France, Great Britain and United States of America. The answer is A. United Kingdom and United States of America. Question 243. Name 3 requirements you must meet in order to vote in a federal election. A. Canadian citizen, at least 21 years old, and on the list of electors. B. Canadian citizen, at least 18 years old and on the voters list. C. Working for the government, at least 21 years old, and Canadian citizen. D. Canadian citizen, at least 16 years old, and on the list of voters. The answer is B. Canadian citizen, at least 18 years old and on the voters list. Question 244. Which 2 provinces are on the Atlantic coast of Canada? A. British Columbia and Yukon. B. Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. C. Newfoundland and British Columbia. D. Prince Edward Island and Ontario. The answer is B. Nova Scotia and New Brunswick.
Question 245. How many provinces and territories are there in Canada?
A. 8 provinces and 3 territories. B. 10 provinces and 2 territories. C. 9 provinces and 2 territory. D. 10 provinces and 3 territories. The answer is D. 10 provinces and 3 territories.
Question 246. Which of the following statements about residential schools is not true?
A. The federal government placed many Aboriginal children in residential schools to educate and assimilate them into mainstream Canadian culture. B. The schools were poorly funded and inflicted hardship on the students. C. The schools were welcomed by the Aboriginal people. D. Aboriginal language and cultural practices were mostly prohibited. The answer is C. The schools were welcomed by the Aboriginal people. Question 247. Who have major responsibilities on First Nations reserves? A. Band chiefs and councillors. B. Municipal governments. C. Provincial and territorial governments. D. Federal government. The answer is A. Band chiefs and councillors. Question 248. What important trade did the Hudson Bay Company control? A. Gold. B. Oil. C. Fishery. D. Fur. The answer is D. Fur. Question 249. Who are exempted from the requirement of adequate knowledge of English or French in order to become a Canadian citizen? A. Anyone who doesn't live in major city. B. Anyone who doesn't want to. C. Any adult applicants who are 55 years of age and over. D. Any adult applicants who are 55 years of age and under. The answer is C. Any adult applicants who are 55 years of age and over. Question 250. What are the first 2 lines of Canada's national anthem? A. O Canada, true patriot love and all thy sons command. B. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love and all thy sons demand. C. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. D. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love and all thy sons command. The answer is D. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love and all thy sons command.